Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something fascinating, exploring this pretty mind-bending set of connections. We're talking ancient symbols, human anatomy, and some really extraordinary claims.
Yeah, and it all stems from this one particular audio source we're digging into.
Exactly, a single, really compelling piece.
Right, so our goal here is basically to unpack the ideas in that source. Specifically, we're looking at these striking similarities and the supposed powers tied to a tiny part of the brain and this very old, powerful symbol.
We want to lay out what's being said, from different angles.
Definitely. Not endorsing anything, just exploring the scope of these, well, pretty intriguing theories.
And it's quite a journey this source takes us on, isn't it? From ancient Egypt to Hollywood A-listers today, and then diving deep into consciousness itself, maybe even beyond.
Really covers a lot of ground.
So let's jump in. The core visual claim, the thing that grabs you first in the source, is this amazing resemblance between the ancient Egyptian symbol, the Eye of Horus, the all-seeing eye, and the pineal gland, that tiny little gland right in the middle of our brains.
And when you see them side by side, it is, well, it's pretty uncanny, hard to ignore.
It really is.
And this pineal gland, it's often called the third eye, right? That's its common nickname.
Right, the third eye.
Biologically, we know its main function is producing serotonin, which is, absolutely crucial for our day-to-day lives. Mood, sleep, all that.
Key part of our brain chemistry, yeah.
Totally.
But then, like you said, there's this other side. The source really leans into the more speculative stuff, this idea that the third eye is maybe a connection or like a gateway device.
A gateway, yeah. To a spiritual world or maybe another dimension. That's the claim.
Even if you don't know the specifics, most people have heard of the third eye concept.
Yeah.
And seeing that visual comparison, the source calls it truly amazing.
It makes you pause, for sure. And it's interesting to look at the symbol itself, the Eye of Horus. Its history is quite deep. It originally, back in ancient Egypt, it was all about protection, royal power, good health, really positive stuff.
A protective symbol.
Exactly. Seen as vital, benevolent.
But the source argues that, well, now it's taken on something darker, a much more sinister form, is how they put it.
Right. They link it heavily to Illuminati symbolism, various secret societies. It's like its meaning got flipped somehow.
Which happens with symbols over time, I guess. They get reinterpreted.
It does happen. And you see this eye symbol pop up in some prominent places. Like, think about the U.S. $1 bill.
Right. With the pyramid.
Yeah, it's there. The eye of God watching over mankind, which the source calls the nice version.
The nice version, okay.
But then lots of other people see it very differently. They give it a, satanic or demonic meaning. So two very different takes.
And this isn't just old symbols or money. The source brings it right into modern pop culture. Hollywood, specifically. Talking about Hollywood A-listers using the symbol all the time. Jewelry, clothes.
In the hand gestures, right.
Yeah, most notably the hand gestures, making that triangle shape over one eye. The all-seeing eye.
And they name names, too.
They do. Jay-Z, Madonna, Michael Jackson are the examples given. It's apparently quite common among big stars.
And that leads into this other theory the source mentions, this idea, pretty dark, really, that maybe these celebrities have, well...
made a deal.
Basically, yeah.
Oh.
Sold their souls, as they put it, to the devil or some powerful secret group in exchange for fame and fortune.
Wow. With the implication that there's a price to pay later on.
Exactly. Have to pay back sooner or later. It's a heavy concept.
And it's not just photos either. Music videos get mentioned. Katy Perry's Dark Horse, Lady Gaga. The symbolism is apparently woven in there too.
And Freemasonry comes up as well.
Right. So when you see it popping up in all these different places, the source says it starts to feel creepy. Makes you wonder what's behind it all.
And this all loops back consistently to that link between the symbol and the pineal gland, the third eye.
Yeah, the connection is central. And the claims about what the pineal gland can do, they get pretty extraordinary.
They really do.
The source suggests that if you activate it correctly, done properly, it lets you connect to an alternate spiritual world, or maybe an alternate dimension.
Something beyond our normal perception.
Yeah, something that we cannot see and hear on this plane. And you could tie that to all sorts of things. Aliens, religion, depending on how you look at it.
And they even propose a mechanism, chemically speaking, DMT.
Ah, the spirit molecule.
Right. It causes hallucinations, kind of like peyote or acid. The source says the pineal gland releases it, and while, yeah, you can find DMT elsewhere in the body, like the lungs, in trace amounts.
The pineal gland is presented as the key, the source for these bigger experiences.
That's the idea presented, yeah.
And it goes even further. Once you tune the pineal gland through meditation, yoga, various esoteric occult methods, the claim is you can't just visit other dimensions.
There's more.
Yeah, you can supposedly control the thoughts and the actions of people here in our physical world.
Wow, okay. That's a massive claim. Controlling others from another dimension?
Huge implications, right?
Absolutely. And then the source mentions this idea of secret research.
Oh, yeah.
That the U.S., the former Soviet Union, these shadow organizations, they've supposedly been researching this stuff for ages.
And the source claims they've actually succeeded, like achieved things we can't imagine.
Succeeded far beyond anything any of us have ever known or seen. That's the assertion. It suggests this hidden layer of advancement.
It kind of makes sense then why the source points out depictions of the pineal gland in older cultures. Catholicism, ancient art.
Egyptian, Roman cultures too, yeah.
It shows this isn't just a modern fringe idea.
Yeah.
It has really deep roots. People have been focused on this for a long, long time.
And the source really hammers home the belief that the Eye of Horus symbol is a direct representation of the pineal gland.
Not just similar, but a direct map, almost.
That's the theory. And that the ancient Egyptians didn't just know about it, they could actually harness the power of this gland.
Which connects directly to the pyramids, doesn't it? That huge mystery.
Exactly. The source floats the idea that the Egyptians could use their pineal glands in this way.
Then moving massive stones, stacking them perfectly. Maybe it wasn't such a struggle.
Would have been a cinch, is the phrase used. It reframes the whole puzzle, suggesting maybe it wasn't about physical tech as we know it.
It makes you think.
And then there's the whole ancient Egypt and aliens connection, which the source mentions is well documented, well studied in, certain communities.
Right, that idea's been around.
The belief being that maybe the Egyptians used the pineal gland to contact beings from other dimensions or even off-planet.
Beings with secret powers or tools that help them build things like the pyramids.
That's the connection being made.
And then the source drops this final bombshell, almost, a symbol almost identical to the Eye of Horus, found on Mars.
On Mars, yeah. Recently discovered, according to the source.
Which, if that's accurate, suggests this whole thing might not even be limited to Earth. An off-world link.
It definitely hints at a much bigger picture, a secret history that goes way beyond what we normally learn.
Mind-bending stuff, like the source says.
For sure. And it all leads to this really provocative final question they pose.
Which is?
Basically, are there people today walking among us who have mastered activating their third eye, and are they using it to control things, influence leaders, governments, essentially rule the world in secret?
Wow. That's mind-blowing stuff. A hidden layer of control.
It really is. When you trace this web we've just talked through, ancient symbols, biology, conspiracy theories, potential alien contact, it paints this picture of a history we might know nothing about.
Like the source says, we might have no idea where we come from, really.
It's a compelling, if unsettling, thought.
It really is. Makes you wonder if the source is right, or even partly right, and some people do know about this secret history and are using it maybe for nefarious reasons. What does that mean for how we understand power? How influence actually works in our world today? Well, it's a lot to chew on.
Definitely a lot to think about.
So, as you've listened to this deep dive, hearing all these connections laid out from the source, what part really stands out to you? What sticks with you the most?